And this next fight, we got an interesting one. We got Manuel Torres. He's taking on Trey Ogden. And Trey Ogden's kind of trying to become the Mexican prospect killer, I guess, because his last fight he went in there with Daniel Zellhuber, took his height, beat him. Zellhuber was undefeated. It was a big upset. Ogden was like over 3-1 underdog. And now he's trying to take the victory from Manuel Torres in Manuel Torres' debut. And obviously the crowd is going to be way on Torres' side here with him being from Mexico and this fight being in San Antonio. And he, in my opinion, is not going to have the same performance that Daniel Zellhuber did in his debut. He's a guy that I think is a little bit older. I don't think you could say he's more experienced just because he's had a majority of his fights end very, very quickly. But I do think that he's someone that is going to go for it. And I think in Trey Ogden's last win, I do think that he did a good job. I'm not trying to say that he wasn't effective in there with what he was doing, but I think a lot of his victory had to do with Zellhuber having a bad performance and not letting things go also. And the way I see this fight going down is kind of similar to how I've seen Trey Ogden's fights with other long not grapplers, but long strikers that have good front chokes have gone, like his fights, for instance, with Thomas Gifford, where he got guillotined 2 times. I've noticed that when Trey Ogden, when you pressure him, he does tend to want to shoot in on you. He likes to have a pretty fight. You see him on the outside, and he can land that check hook. He can land his leg kicks and control distance fairly effectively. He has pretty good footwork. But when someone can make it ugly and close that gap and kind of force him into a firefight, even Jordan Levitt, who obviously no one really sees him as a power puncher or someone that's going to close the distance and make it a brawl in the boxing. But he was able to start pressuring Trey Ogden in the 3rd round, force him into a bad takedown, and got on top because of that, because Ogden didn't like getting hit with those punches that Levitt was throwing. So personally, I feel like Torres, he's someone that brings that action. He comes forward. He's very aggressive. He is powerful. He's long. He throws good combinations, crosses, and I think he's going to try to get in Ogden's face and overwhelm him. And I just see Ogden forcing the takedown and either getting submitted. It's possible that he could extend the fight and it could become a longer showing and you could see Torres get tired. But personally, Torres is training at Entrim Gym. There's a lot of beasts at that gym. They produced UFC champions in the past. And I have faith in his cardio training up there in Mexico. Those guys usually don't get tired, man. And I don't think Torres is going to get tired. He doesn't have a long way to travel. He should be able to get in there and have an easy go in terms of the weight cut and everything if everything goes smoothly. And I just don't think Trey Ogden is going to offer enough on the feet to really offset Torres. Torres can get wild. He is hittable with the check hooks, so Ogden could land some hooks on him, but I just don't think he's going to have the power to hurt Torres, who has a good chin, and I think Torres is going to overwhelm him, kind of force him to shoot a bag takedown and then take that neck and submit him. So that's my kind of view on how this fight's going to go down, and I have to go with Manuel Torres. I'll say he wins via 1st round submission here.